The Simpsons have been on air for about 35 crazy years, filled with the most absurd level of comedy. You better believe that after this many years, there are going to be shifts in their animation style. I mean, if you look at Homer Simpson from the start of this show to now, you'll get what I mean. He's unrecognizable. The shorts. Before Springfield had a skyline, before Homer had two brain cells to rub together, there were Tracy Ullman shorts, and rough around the edges doesn't even begin to describe them. The early designs were wild. Bart looked ridiculous, Homer looking like a rejected potato mascot. And since the animators barely stuck to Groening's storyboards, sometimes the characters didn't even look like themselves from one shot to the next. The voices are pitched weirdly, the bodies are rubber worms, and sometimes Bart's head looks like a sharpened pencil eraser. Don't worry, it haunts my dreams too. These little sketches ran between comedy bits in 1987, and honestly, they hit. People liked them. Fox saw dollar signs. And just like that, the world's strangest family was suddenly worth 30 full minutes. Season 1, Finding Their Feet. Cut to 1989. The first ever full episode airs. The Simpsons roasting on an open fire. Weird flex to start your series with a Christmas special, but hey, why not? And yep, the style is still shaky. Barney's got yellow hair for some reason. Marge's hair waves like it's underwater. Lisa's Polynesian dance is way too polished for a fourth grader. And Homer, he sounds like he's recovering from a chest cold, but hey, it gave us Santa's Little Helper, so we forgive the wobbles. The thing is, that wasn't even the first episode produced. That honor goes to Some Enchanted Evening. It got delayed because the animation looked like someone had left the models in the oven too long. Homer comes off less suburban dad and more melted action figure. A true sight to behold. Still, Season 1 set the tone. Weird off-model faces 1 second, and then scenes so over-animated you'd think they outsourced to Disney for a gag. It was inconsistent, but it was a start. Season 2, The Glow Up. By the time Bart gets an F dropped in 1990, the crew had started tightening the screws. The intro looked sharper, shadows gave dramatic weight, and Bart sobbing over a test felt almost cinematic. All they needed was a couple of shadows here and there, and the entire experience transformed. Imagine that. Tears making you forget how cursed his hair spikes looked 12 episodes earlier. Even the intro feels cleaner with smoother lines, steadier movement, and characters closer to their final forms. They even flexed a brand new whip pan shot of Marge driving that shows off half the Springfield cast in one swoosh. It's a small touch, but a clear sign the growing pains phase was fading. This was the moment the show stopped feeling like a long doodle and started becoming The Simpsons. Still rough, but at least now characters weren't changing skull shapes mid-scene. Into the third dimension, Homer Cubed, 1995. By Season 2, the animation had pretty much locked into place. The family finally looked like themselves. Springfield felt less like a sketchpad experiment, and most of the episodes ran with the same steady style. No wild surprises. Until Treehouse of Horror 6. That's when we got Homer Cubed, the infamous time Homer stumbled into the third dimension. On the other side, there's a full-blown 1995 computer animation with polygons, shiny textures, and Homer wobbling around like a PlayStation 1 character model. His stomach sticks out like a balloon, his eyes look like clay marbles, and yet he's in awe. And when Bart dives in to rescue him, the hole swallows them both, leaving Homer to deliver one last line about piece of cake right before physics absolutely obliterates him. And just when you think it can't get stranger, they chuck him into the real world. Spoiler, Homer Simpson standing in actual Los Angeles is somehow more cursed than his PS1 form. The Chili Trip, Mysterious Voyage of Homer, 1997. If Homer 3 was the show's first dip into tech experiment land, then The Mysterious Voyage of Homer was a full-on acid trip. It starts simply, the Springfield chili cook-off, but then Homer eats peppers so hot his soul detaches. Within minutes, the animation bends and warps with him. There are false visions of Marge shifting landscapes and a tortoise that he punts in impatience. To be very honest, it's surreal, psychedelic, and oddly beautiful. Say what you will about cartoon logic, But only The Simpsons could make a chili cook-off spiral into an existential marriage crisis with a space coyote as the messenger. The Digital Switch, Treehouse of Horror 13, 2002. It's time we say goodbye to hand-painted cells and hello to the digital era. Halloween episodes were always where the animators let loose, but Treehouse of Horror 13 in 2002 took it a step further. This was the first time the show ditched that hand-painted cells and went full digital. The episode Send in the Clones shows off the upgrade. The animators clearly had fun flexing the new digital tools by filling entire frames with armies of yellow clones. The clone horde tears through the town, the military gets called in, and Lisa comes up with the only plan that could possibly stop them. Lure them away with food? It's pure genius. It didn't have the handmade charm anymore, but digital meant fewer mistakes, faster animation, and way more chaos, which is perfect when you need 200 homers destroying Moe's in one shot. The Simpsons movie, 2007. And then something big happened. The Simpson movie was released. They put on a big screen polished to perfection. This was the show's glow-up montage. They had fluid motion, crisp colors, and every character suddenly had movie star lighting. Spider Pig became a meme factory, and for a moment, the animation looked truly cinematic. Sure, the story was about a pig in a dome, but the art was absolutely gorgeous. The HD era, 2009. Then came Take My Life Please, the big leap to widescreen HD. Suddenly, Springfield wasn't boxed in anymore. The frame stretched widescreen, the colors popped cleaner, and the town actually looked bigger than 3 Streets and Moe's Bar. The new style had a slick, clean edge. Some people missed the grit of the old days, but most people were just happy. Marge's hair finally stopped flickering frame to frame. Either way, the show entered its glossy phase, and it hasn't looked back. Brick Like Me, 2014. Lego World. When the show hit 2014, they said, "Slick HD isn't enough. Let's turn them into toys." And suddenly, Springfield was built brick by brick. The best part about that was probably the fact that they could be put back together no matter what. Hit by a car? Don't worry. Just reattach the head. From the first scene, it's clear something's off. Homer's wearing a tie, which hasn't happened since, what, season 5? And the entire family is made of plastic. But, as usual in typical Simpson fashion, nobody bats an eye. The episode goes full multiverse meltdown from there. In the end, Homer makes it back to reality, choosing messy, imperfect family life over an eternal toyland. It's weird, it's sweet, and really ambitious. That's peak Simpsons right there. Death Tome, 2022. Anime Lisa. It seems that Simpson has a knack for switching up animation styles to follow the recent trends, because the next change is a little shocking. Treehouse of Horror 33 goes full anime. Lisa stumbles on a Death Note. Sorry, I meant Death Tome. It's like the Simpson universe has really bad animation FOMO because they never want to be left behind. The art style nails every dramatic zoom, speed line, and over-the-top shadow. Lisa even has her writing furiously in a notebook montage, like she's been waiting for this crossover her whole life. And of course, the Shinigami? His name is Steve Johnson, because if a god of death called Steve Johnson came up to me, I know I would be screaming. Lisa almost writes Bart's name, pauses, and stops. Even in anime form, sibling murder is frowned upon. That's a line she figured she'd draw because he's family and all. Clan of the Cave Mom, 2023. Prehistoric Simpsons. Then the show went full Stone Age. Literally. Cave Homer is still useless, Cave Marge is still holding everything together, and wolves want to eat Bart like he's a free-range snack. The animation dials up the brutality. Red backgrounds, jagged shadows, primal rage. It looks less like a sitcom and more like a lost chapter of The Croods if The Croods had more strangling. By the end, prehistoric Marge shows mercy to her enemy, while modern Marge shows mercy to the Von Houtens, which honestly might be harder. This entire timeline of animation just goes to show that chaos doesn't just come from the storyline, it can come from the animation too. If you want to see more crazy, just click the link on the screen.